With the new update out, the Muscovites find themselves amongst nations with insane mission trees like the Lithuanians, the Swedes, the Poles, even with Novgorod here getting a better government reform and having access to the estates makes everything a little bit more difficult, doesn't it? But here's a massive but actually, not just a small little but. We're talking about the government reforms also affect the Muscovites and they make the Muscovites scale up massively. Plus, with a specific game feature, let's call it, because it's totally not an exploit, boys. Until they patch it, that is. Hopefully they don't patch it anytime soon. But with that particular game feature, we're gonna turn Muscovy into the strongest nation in the game. Obviously, for the beginning, you always want to take care of your estates. You want to give out the +1 mana privileges. Take note, you do start with 5 vassals. So because of that, getting 150 Liberty Desire from Subject Development is gonna affect you a little bit, but not too much. Look at this. We're not getting any of our vassals disloyal just yet. We're also giving out the strong duchies, which helps with keeping these vassals in check even more, as well as we're giving the patronage of the arts, and we are taking the burger loan since we need to have money for the early war against Novgorod. We're going to be attacking these boys on the 11th of December. So let's set Lithuania and Novgorod as our rivals. We're also going to be recruiting the Grand Company in Rizhev, as well as the Free Company in Belzhsk. We're going over our land force limit, but don't stress, we will need these units. I don't really think we need that many allies. Let's just go with Circassia, I guess, and that's it for now. We're Muscovy, boys. We're alone in this world. We don't need anyone. We're gonna be killing everybody by ourselves. We also start with Mr. Dmitry Shemiaka, which is a Chad Lord. Did you see those pips right there, boys? Alright, now we can do Invade Novgorod. We get all of these claims here, which means that we also have to get manual claims on Tver since we are not getting those claims just yet, and we want to get them during the war with Novgorod. Avec le 11 of December, let's set Vishny Volochok as the target and Ataksky. Forgot to get my advisors. Also, let's get 1 stability since we just talked about stability. And of course, why not get horrible events from the start of the campaign, right, boys? Obviously, the war with Novgorod's insanely easy. We outnumber them by a lot, but if you're playing as Novgorod, you don't know how to defeat the Muscovites, check out my Novgorod video with the recent update. You'll find a link to it in the description. And now let's do our peace deal. It's gonna look a little bit like this here. We're basically splitting them in 3 parts, and we're making sure that Sweden cannot take any Novgorodian lands, as well as we're taking the city of Novgorod itself directly. Daryagoski. Now we have to focus on Tver, my boys. Let's go. We got our claim on them, and luckily enough, Tver allied Ryazan, which is a tributary of the Great Horde. Can I actually take this without having to fight the Great Horde right now? I can. 45% war score, which means I can attack Tver, and I do not co-belligerate Ryazan, but I still can fully annex them. Also get another general, and he has 1 siege pip. That is going to help us out quite a lot, actually. And let's quickly kill off these boyos. Whilst I'm attacking Ryazan, Tver, and all of these small insignificant nations here, I'm also improving relations with my vassals, because in 54, I want to be able to start integrating some of these boyos as fast as possible, starting with the smallest of the ones. That means Rostov and Yaroslav. I think I forgot to show, but I got 4.9% crown lands from taking the Novgorod lands. Since I tried to keep my influence a little bit lower, now I can start giving out more privileges. What should we ask Perm for? Let's go for admin points, because we are going to need a lot of admin points to core up everything. That's also why keep your national focus on admin, because it is going to be at the start focused on admin. You want to keep it there. Don't change it, at least not for the first 20 years, because we're going to have some intense expansion sprees. The plight of Ingurmanland. Damn, Ingurmanland asking for stuff. How about no, sir? How about no? Looks like only Tver and Novgorod care about me annexing these nations. So essentially nobody that I actually care about. Oh, I'm wrong. Also Odoyev cares about me annexing these nations. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Odoyev is angry with me, guys. If I'm a little bit lucky, Odoyev is gonna either ally or join the trade league of Novgorod, in which case I can attack Odoyev and shorten the truce with Novgorod by quite a few years. It did not happen just yet, but fingers crossed it might happen. They were allied to the Lithuanians before, until the Lithuanians became a junior partner of Poland. And exactly what I was saying, boys, look at this. They just joined the trade league League of Novgorod. So that means I'm attacking them now, and I'm gonna bring in the Novgorodians, and I can white peace Novgorod, which shortens my truce with Novgorod by a lot. I was actually planning on attacking Kazan, but things change, so mold yourself on your RNG, and if you don't have this situation like I have, you can attack Kazan or any other nation that's easy to attack early on, and it's gonna give you massive profits. Just realized that my in-game audio was muted. Not sure if anybody else realized. Let me know in the comments section. Now it's fixed, so you should be able to hear the in-game audio. And now we can also attack Kazan because I finished my quick war with Odoyev. We essentially have 3 years to finish this war. Well, 4 years really. Let's call in Circassia as a diversion more than anything else, and let's go. We got a reconquest of Korfa Perm. I did not pay attention for like a second, and Kazan already wiped out my free company, boys. Can we get an F in the chat for the free company? I mean, these guys are basically the backbone of this channel. Since I don't need anything from Crimea, I'm gonna be white piecing them. I can do this because I've occupied quite a few of their provinces. Can I take some money? Oh my god, I can take 14.8 ducats. Hells to the yes. Totally worth it, boys. I'm doing that because I need my troops to actually be fighting against the Kazani units, which are superior to me right now because I don't have military tech 5 yet, and they have insanely overpowered steppe units. The trick with defeating these hordes is obviously just stack wipe them whenever you see smaller horde units around the map. So now we just cut off half of Kazan's armies, kill them off here, and we can focus on the rest of their armies. Also try to fight them in non-even terrain. What does that mean? Well, if it's a forest, mountain, highlands, or whatever the sorts, they get minus 25% shock damage decrease. So fighting them in these kind of terrains is going to be a massive boost to your armies. There you go. We completely decimated their troops, and that's going to take them a really long time before they can recover. That's the entire army of the enemy alliance, basically. There's a saying in my country, if you eat a lot of poo-poo when you're young, you're going to be really lucky when you grow up. Well, I clearly did not eat enough poo-poo when I was really young because I'm not lucky. So I fully sieged down all of Kazan, but sadly, because they're allied to Chagatai, and there's no way of me reaching the lands of Chagatai, I cannot go for 100% peace deal. I could wait until Chagatai pieces out, but I'd rather be at peace myself and fix my country's economy rather than stay in a war I don't really need to be in. So I'm just going to take a few provinces, not everything, taking the Bashgird gold mine, as well as taking the province of Penza and some money on the side. Apparently 33 ducats is everything that I can take. And now we're going to have a chill period, and we're going to start integrating our vassals during this chill period. And I also forgot to give perm to my vassal, but you know what, it's fine. I already took it. It might as well just keep it now, right? And by seizing crownlands, we went up to 20% crownlands now within just the first 10 years of the game. So 20% crownlands and all 3 of the +1 mana privileges is what you're aiming for, because now those 3 privileges are going to give us +1 mana till the end of the game, since we're never going to revoke them. And what that also means is that now we can start lowering our autonomy, and we only gained around 10 to 15% autonomy in these 10 years, which we're getting rid of instantly. This is a big hint for me saying never take the estate statutory. It's really bad. I love the fact that you can raise Streltsy as the Russians. It's basically free units, and not only are they free, they also give 10% extra land fire damage, so they're free powerful units. I'm a little bit torn between the second tier reform, because as the Muscovites, we want to have as much manpower as possible, and obviously the manpower reform is amazing, but then again, the army tradition reform is insanely great also, so it's a bit of a tough decision. I'm still gonna go for the manpower as Muscovy, because I will have continuous wars in the first 100 years of my campaign, whilst as other nations, I probably would not have as many wars as I do as the Muscovites. So army tradition is going to be a little bit easier to get as Muscovy, whilst manpower is going to be harder because I'm going to be draining my manpower through continuous wars. And with the second war against Novgorod done, we've basically finished unifying our home region. We just got to finish integrating Perm, Beluzero, and Pskov. Beluzero is extra easy because I was able to take one of their provinces from an event because I had a permanent claim on these provinces. Minus 70 from they took a province from us event, so I have to improve relations with them now, which means it's a time for another chill period, boys. Plus, we can also do Conquest of Novgorod that gives permanent claims on the entire Russian region that includes parts of the Great Horde and parts of Lithuania. Wait, what? Kazan just sold the province of Juktau to Nogai. Oh my freaking god, really, Kazan? Now I have to fight Nogai also for those. You know what? This might not be so bad. That means it's gonna take me a little bit less time to kill off Kazan. In case you're wondering, I am doing a sneaky war here where I'm trying to take a few provinces from the Livonians because I noticed that they are at war with the Poles, and I do not want Poland to take any of these lands, but likely they will take some. One of the major things about the war is that I can make Riga a vassal. I'm also gonna force religion on them, so they're gonna become Orthodox now, and I can take 3.6 ducats. I really just did this war for the 3.6 ducats, let's face it. We seem to have a bit of a Mexican standoff where I cannot peace out Livonians, and the Poles are not piecing them out either, so I'll give it a couple of more years. If nothing happens, hey, look at that, boys! They did peace out, literally as I just said that, and apparently, it's amazingly border-gorish now here, since we have the Teutons, we also have Ducal Prussia, and we got parts of the Livonian lands under the control of Poland. I've also temporarily allied Nogai so I can call them in against the Great Horde and basically feed their lands over to Uzbek because the Great Horde's allied to Uzbek. And I'm gonna peace out Uzbek by giving them Nogai lands. I'm a horrible ally, okay? Remember the debuff that I was mentioning that hordes get when fighting in uneven terrain? Well, they get a bonus when fighting in flat terrain, so that means they get plus 25 shock damage increase when fighting in like steppes or grasslands and so on. But I did attack with the double the amount of troops that they had, so even though they get the 25% shock damage bonus, they're still getting their asses kicked by my superior forces. And now it's time to actually do a little bit of exploration and start going into the Uzbek lands to see these provinces for ourselves. The Pomjestija reforms, which historically had a massive impact on the formation of Russia, despite it being a very intrusive process for the Novgorodians, it did eventually make it so that both Novgorod and Muscovy formed the nation of Russia and left behind whatever ties they might have had to the previous nations or countries. Better to say countries. Whatever the case, we can choose to go for reform progress as well as morale of armies or trade efficiency. Obviously go for the morale of armies. As Muscovy, it is going to be paramount to have more morale of armies since we're always at war. I'm also going to use my surplus military and diplo points to keep on developing Muscovy so I can spawn in Renaissance here, and as such I'm not going to be taking the penalty for taking up without having Renaissance embraced. Now I just need the money for that, which also is going to come. Just wait for it. First we got to finish this war, boys. Someone say recruit more strelci. Yes sir, don't mind if I do. 12,000 soldiers just appear out of thin air because they're obviously not using my manpower pool, so clearly they're aliens, little green men, and it looks like we are able to get the cheesiest reform of them all. Of course, I'm talking about the centralized monarchical bureaucracies, which means that we'll be getting a refund on our costs whenever we centralize a state, as well as it's going to be cheaper to culture convert stuff, so as a Muscovite, that's also really good. Now we just need to wait for 50 reform progress so we can start centralizing our states, and as such not really have to worry about governing capacity ever again. I'm actually curious, were there a lot of jousting tournaments in medieval Muscovy? I've never thought about that, but was jousting that popular in Eastern Europe overall? I know it was really popular in the West. Alright, looks like we explored pretty much all of Uzbek, so we're gonna piece them out. We're gonna take this one province because we plan on releasing Sibir from here, and then we're gonna feed them up all of the Uzbek lands in the north. And we're also taking Turkgay because we're gonna release Kazakh also and feed them up all of the southern bits of Uzbek, since Sibir and Kazakh have cores on— Wait, no! Oh god, I didn't pay attention. Oh, this is big dumb moment. Nogai had that province, didn't they? Yep. I was gonna say Sibir and Kazakh have all of Uzbek land. I'm gonna kill Nogai next. That's what's gonna happen, boys. I'm gonna destroy these bastards. Up next, I'm gonna be taking these provinces for myself in the north, and I'm giving these two provinces to my allies. And it's not because I'm such a nice guy, it's because I'm gonna be releasing Astrakhan also from the province of Manish, and I'm gonna feed up all of Astrakhan's cores, including the ones in Nogai and Circassia. That's right, I'm backstabbing all of my allies. Got a problem problem with that. This is your first time here, and let's do that right now. Astrakhan Daryago and Sibir Daryagoski. Boys, look at this. Juba Jubi Doob, the northern bits, and Scooby Loby Dobe, the southern tips. We're gonna have a brand new vassal swarm, except compared to the starting vassal swarm, this one's actually gonna be juicy and powerful. And this right here, boys, is why I love having the Cossacks estate. That free manpower is always more than welcome. Wait, what? Kazakh is not getting joined by any of their alliances? Well, hot diggity dong, sounds like I need to attack Kazan again. Kick, they got 0 soldiers, man. Poland completely crushed their armies. Thank you, Poland, very kind. I really don't like the fact that I have to leave them with 1 province, but if I'm a bit lucky, Nogai might actually take over Bulgar. And I just realized, is this where the Bulgars originally come from? You know, the ancestors of the Bulgarians, before they split into 2 different tribes, and some of them stayed behind, some of them migrated to the south of the Danube. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where it's from. The name kind of gives it away. Ew, this is not good. 100.3 overextension. Am I close to getting... Yeah, okay, I'm close to getting rid of overextension. Just gotta survive for a few months. I've seen some pretty wild Burgundian inheritance, but this one kind of tops them all off. East Frisia managed to get the Burgundian inheritance out of all the freaking nations, dude. East Frisia got it. I mean, for real? I don't even think they'll be able to hold on to this. Also, what the schnapps is happening here? Munster ate most of the northern bits of the Netherlands. And no, Bohemia ate my beautiful Brandenburg. Yeah, bastards. Oh, I can ally them. Yeah, I should ally them. I have to wait until I... Oh, no, Denmark. What am I gonna do without your alliance? Nothing. I'm gonna get the Bohemians. We managed to integrate Pskov, so now we can do consolidation of Russia, which gives claims on Finland, Ruthenia, and everything around us, essentially, plus a lot of tax development and so on. So now look at this, boys. We can attack Lithuania, and we can take massive chunks out of this, as well as we can do the same to the Swedes and what's left of the Livonian lands. Every time we centralize a state, we spend 50 reform progress and 50 admin, but we get it back after 5 years, so we can infinitely redo this as many times as we want, which means that within 20 years, if we repeat this every 5 years, then these states will get 0 governing cost, since it lowers the governing cost by 25% every time you centralize a state, as well as it lowers the maintenance, and it gives prosperity growth passively. So it's one of the best additions to this game. I mean, centralizing state has been in the game for a while, but the fact that you get back all of the reform and the admin points for these things just makes a massive difference, and it really means that you don't need to worry about governing capacity anymore. Way different taking burger loans now compared to the start of the campaign, because now taking 5 burger loans is the equivalent to a lot more money, and we're gonna use this money to build workshops around the country, which will definitely improve our economy massively. Also built a few marketplaces here and there, because those are needed too, and barracks. Don't forget the barracks. I also want to mention that despite the fact that I've completely crushed Great Horde, they still managed somehow to get more lands. They killed off what was left of Crimea and doubled in size. By converting the province of Penza, we managed to do another mission here, Tame the Steppes, that offers us claims on most of the steppes here, namely pretty much everything that we already took. So it's a little bit late, because, you know, I guess they didn't expect me to expand so fast, did they? So yeah, next we gotta take these provinces to get more claims, and these 2 provinces to get even more claims onto the eastern parts of the Urals and so on. I've also waited for my leader to die for a very, very long time. He's still not dead, and I really want to get my heir in charge, so I'm gonna disinherit him. And I believe I'm doing this with a 72-year-old leader, but he's not dying, okay? And we got our first centralization of Novgorod, bringing this down to 40 governing capacity now, 25% less. We're gonna do it a second time, and that's gonna bring it down to even less afterwards, with eventually bringing it down to 0 or close to 0. Having the ability to suppress all rebel factions is probably the most Russian thing ever in any video game. Also, the fact that we can kill the Nogai here, that's pretty Russian as well, because, you know, we got Nogai in Russia. Am I right, boys? It's pretty much all of Eastern Europe, really. There's no guys in Eastern Europe. It's only women, eh? You see what I did? That's big brain, boys. That's big. Cannot get me, YouTube. Cannot get me. These kind of names, they really make you wonder, don't they? Like, it's weird sometimes how one name in one language could mean something completely different in another language. And I believe this peace deal is what we need. Looks like the Ottomans might join in a coalition against us since, well, Nogai is Muslim and Sunni. But I don't think we need to worry about the Ottomans for now. They got bigger fish to fry. For some reason, in this run, Ottomans did not do amazing. I mean, they still haven't captured all of Anatolia by 1490. That is a big problem for them. And they're getting cucked by the Austrians and the Poles here. They're actually at war with the Austrians now, and they're not really winning either. Oh, this is the ultimate cuck. I'm gonna ally Trebizond so that this way the Ottomans cannot expand into this area. Yet another centralization has finished, which means we can do one more in the same province now. And since we did take Turkgey, we can release Kazakh now, and we can use Kazakh and Sibir to attack Uzbek and basically feed all of their provinces to our Vasalski. And the cool part is that because of this war, wow, okay, 11,000 manpower, thank you, Saint Michael, very kind of you. Because of this war, we can also get rid of Kazan, which we still have a truce with, but because they're one province, we can kill them off in this one war. Let's go with Kurgan as our target, and we're gonna co-belligerate the Great Horde, since we'll also be taking provinces from the Great Horde, not only from Uzbek, for our beloved Astrakhan vassal. You know what? I'm probably gonna feed all of the Great Horde to Astrakhan, even the provinces that they don't have cores on, so that they use up their admin points instead of me using up mine. Somebody say some extra Streltsy battalions? Yes, sir. Don't mind if I do. Oh, what happened to the army of Uzbek? They died, did? Okay, that might have been a little bit too cringe. I might cut that out. Oh my freaking god. Seriously, Nogai? Did you actually just siege this down? Bro, I cannot believe this just happened. That means I cannot give these provinces to Astrakhan now, or I have to wait until Nogai pieces out, which I have a strong suspicion is not going to be super fast. Honestly, quite surprised with the amount of cores that the Bulgars here have, or better yet, the Kazakhs have. Wait, no, the Kazans have. Not. They're all something with the Ka. Okay, why did they all call themselves the same thing? It's not my fault. All right, there you go. That's gonna help out with converting stuff to our religion now. Let's make sure we give all of these to the right owner, namely Kazan or Sibir. I have to say this is probably one of the most stable Muscovy runs I've ever had. So if you guys are interested in the save, you can find it on my Patreon or as a channel member. Don't hesitate to access and play the save for yourself. I'm sure that we're gonna have different outcomes based on the decisions that we take afterwards. And if you guys want to see this campaign continued, let's get a good 10k likes and I'll cover the mid to late game as the Muscovites / Russians. Oh my god, the Mingians have beat me to the punch. Did I just call them the Mingians? Pretty sure they're called Chinese or anything else except the Mingians. What is a Mingian? Come on, Ludi, come on. Ludi be like inventing terms and schnaps, yo. Alright, well, thanks to the Mingian army, we can get a white piece or 5 ducats from Chagatai, which means we can do our proper peace deal with Uzbekistan. Kazakhstan? No, they're Uzbeks. They're Uzbeks. Pretty sure I started 5th World War right there. And I know you guys enjoy border gore, so that's why I'm gonna be doing this peace deal here. Honestly, I just want to give all of the Sibir lands back to Sibir so I can start integrating them. Kazakh, I'll give the lands later in the next war against Uzbek. I gave them 3 provinces in the south. That's more than generous in my opinion. Probably the Kazakhs would not think so though. And in case you're wondering, yes, I did forget to actually make my peace deal with the Great Horde. It's fine, okay? Be quiet, don't judge me. So apparently my people just saw a great peepee in the sky and they got scared by it. Clearly this is an omen of times to come. Get it? Times to come. I'll shut up now. Another day, another centralization of state, which means we're gonna do the last centralization of state for the Novgorod state. Also guys, what the hell just happened here? Dalmatia is a free country and it's an Orthodox country. How? Someone explain to me what happened here. Also, Austria got its ass kicked by Bohemia and the Ottomans managed to take all the trans. Well, that's pretty accurate. That happens a few times, I guess. I guess they won that war a few few years ago, and I just never paid attention. Looks like Hungary also joined the empire. All right, let's see what the empire looks like. So it's a pretty big empire, let's say. You know what real men do? Real men invade Lithuania when Poland's not looking. Hey, boys, time to get our lands, everybody. Can we get a halashmugadug? I don't know where I was going with that whole rant, but hello schmoogadoo, motherfuckers. Peak quality AI, everybody. Why not keep your entire army sieging down one fort when the rest of your country's getting its ass kicked, right? This is what it's all about, everybody. Cede managed to Muscovy. No, I actually don't want it. I think I'm gonna be barraging some of these fortifications because I want to take them a little bit quicker. I don't want this war to drag on for too much longer. Hey, 2 more centralized zones, ski. Oh yeah, baby. I really was not kidding when I said that I'm doing it everywhere around my country. At this point, I'm honestly just chasing down the enemy armies. It's not even any sort of a fight. It's basically a bloodbath because I'm winning every engagement left, right, and center. Sieging stuff, on the other hand, is a little bit of a pickle. It does take significantly longer for me to siege stuff than it takes for the AI. And the last centralization of Novgorod, let's see how much it costs us now for the entirety of the Novgorod state. It costs us 0.54 governing capacity for these 5 provinces, which together have 54 development. This should cost me 54 governing capacity, but it costs me 0.54. That's how insane centralizing states is, and the fact that now the one that I used in Novgorod, I don't need to do it anymore. Just 4 times is enough. So now I'm going to do it in another state. I don't know. Galish. Oh no, Galish, I'm already doing it. Vologda. There you go. Doing a Vologda, which I already did a few times. So then again, it's going to go down and it's going to eventually be 0 governing capacity in all of my states. It does mean though that I am falling behind with my government reforms since I am using my reform progress to do these centralizations. But eventually when I get enough of these back, I can just fast forward through the rest of the reforms. Let's also do it again in Ryazan since it's only 26 now. We want to bring it down to 0.26. And I also love having cannons. Seriously, cannons make such a massive difference in warfare. Oh, was? Eine Strelsi-Maschinen? No, I'm not gonna get this now. I'm gonna wait. I'm already at my maximum land force limit. I also have to say I love the patriarchal stability. I got this basically so many times. I've never had to stab up by myself. It's absolutely beautiful. And let's see if now the Poles are willing to give me what I want. It seems like they do. All right, we can go for this. Can we take Brabrushki Biriskorobosko also? We probably can. 116, 113. Coalition, I'm guessing nobody important. Actually, there's nobody at all. This is just the coalition from the Muslim stuff that I took before. Oh, right. It's because this is the first time or the second time I take stuff from Catholics, actually. Oh my god, look how beautiful we are and how ugly Lithuania just got. A couple more wars like this and we should have our historical Russian borders, boys. But the thing that shines the most in this campaign and what I love the most is this. 0.2 governing capacity cost for 24 dev. Oh god, this is so freaking broken. I really hope they patch this, but a part of me also hopes that they don't patch this. And why is my autonomy 25 there? Let's okay, that was weird. It was just in Novgorod 25. Guess maybe from an event. If you guys enjoyed this campaign, you'll absolutely love my Novgorod campaign. Just click over here. And I want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support.